ladies and gentlemen, I introduce our president, Professor Emeritus Clement Sankat, a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. Dr. Sankat received his early education at Queen's College in Georgetown, Guyana, his birthplace. He is a chartered professional engineer by training with degrees in mechanical engineering from the University of the West Indies and a PhD from the University of Guelph in Canada. He has had a long and distinguished career at the University of the West Indies as a scholar and administrative leader. Professor Emeritus Dr. Sankat was promoted to full professorship in 1998 and served in many positions: heads of department in the mechanical engineering area, deputy and dean of the Faculty of Engineering, campus coordinator and pro-vice chancellor for graduate studies at the University of the West Indies from 2008 to 2016. As Pro-Vice Chancellor and Principal of UWI St. Augustine Campus. Under his leadership, the St. Augustine Campus became the largest within the regional university system, with approximately 19,000 students, new facilities and academic staff, and new facilities including the South Campus being built in southern Trinidad. The campus has also received an international instructional accreditation for the first time in 2010 under the stewardship of our Professor Dr. Clement Sankat. His teaching experience is in the area of engineering graphics, design, and the management of innovation. His research expertise is in engineering, application for food and agriculture, post-harvest technology, and the utilization, processing, and preservation of tropical agricultural commodities, especially through refrigeration, drying, and dehydration. He has published regionally and internationally in books and journals in the noted areas, and his work has been applied to regional industry. Dr. Sankat is a fellow of the Institute of Agricultural Engineering in the UK, of the Association of Professional Engineers of Trinidad and Tobago, and of the Canadian Society of Biological Engineering. He has served in many public and private sector boards in Trinidad and Tobago, and he has built strong partnerships between the university and the private sector, and with several international agencies for university advancement. Professor Emeritus Dr. Sankat has received numerous accolades for his service, including UWI's Vice Chancellor's Award for Excellence in Research, University and Public Service, the Cacique Crown of Honor from Guyana, and an honorary doctoral degree from the University of New Brunswick in Canada. He believes that the role of the University of Belize must be, as a first priority, to provide much larger numbers of Belizean students from across the country an opportunity for quality tertiary education, thereby nurturing future leaders for various professions, as well as developing thinkers and providing a launch pad for creative and talented entrepreneurs. Distinguished guests, faculty, staff, graduates, it gives me great pleasure to welcome President Professor Emeritus Sankat to the microphone to deliver the President's remarks. Dr. Sankat.
Just one bottle of water.
Good morning to all of you. Let me say that was a special treat there by Carolyn. Sometimes I forgot what I've done, but let me say what you have done. You have reminded me what I have to do at the University of Belize. That is what that message is all about. Continue to work very hard. I cannot compete with the chair here with respect to protocols. All protocols have already been established. However, it would be remiss of me not to recognize the presence of our distinguished guests, here with us, and to especially thank them for taking their time from their busy Saturday mornings to join us at the University of Belize. I want to especially recognize our ambassadors, honorary consuls, our honorable ministers, especially our line minister of education and our honorable minister of agriculture. I want to recognize our mayor of Belize City, our deputy mayor of Belmopan. Of course, I should have recognized our esteemed Governor General. Sorry about that, Governor General. You should be first on the list. That's why I couldn't compete with the chair. Of course, I want to also recognize the chairman of our board, Mr. Harrison Pilgrim, and members of our board who are gathered seated here. My dear colleagues of the University of Belize, thank you all very much for taking your Saturday morning to join and celebrate with our students. And of course, all our graduating class, parents, loved ones, other specially invited guests, thank you very much. It is really pleasing to see a full auditorium, and I thank you sincerely from the bottom of my heart for coming out. I know it's a warm day, all I'm seeing is waving of fans. So, Chairman, we need some money to air condition this building and possibly and as a mechanical engineer, we will have to find a way to do it in a cost-effective way. But those are the things that are going to come. But let me not get there. This is a very big moment for our graduates. Special day. But it's also very special for me. Not only because I'm your president, but because it's the first time I'm speaking at UB's graduation. So I might be a little bit nervous, probably a lot more nervous than you are. But it's great to be here, and it's therefore, it's a moment for me to say thank you to those who made it possible for me to be here at the University of Belize as the 7th president. And of course, I must thank the chairman and the members of the board of trustees, the government of Belize, especially our honorable Minister of Education, our Prime Minister, our leader of the opposition, and of course our distinguished Governor General. I've read the act, so I know what it takes to appoint a president. I've called all the names that are involved. And of course, the staff, who have always and already shown a lot of confidence in my leadership, but were there supporting me even before I came. So thank you all, my colleagues. But this is a day for our students, our graduates. And I'm going to give you a few words of guidance, I hope. You are now leaving the confines of the University of Belize and entering the world of work. You need to remember that you are not only Belizeans, but you are entering a world almost as global citizens, because we live in a global economy, an interconnected world. But you are also Belizean nationals and graduates of this dear University of Belize. You have grown at UB, that's why you're now graduating, and UB is also growing and has grown with you. Normally, I think a president would extol what has happened over the last year. You will forgive me, I can't say what has happened last year. I only come in February, so I can't talk about the whole year. But I think some of you already are seeing some of the changes that are occurring at our university, and you could be assured that by next year, at this time, the changes are going to be even more dramatic. And thank you very much. And one of the things that I've always said in my entire life at university is really first and foremost about our students. And therefore, we have to create an environment in here that really facilitates their teaching and their learning. So we will create a comfortable environment for you across our various campuses. We need a little time, but I'd say to all of you, within the year, new academic year, you will see even more changes here that supports our work. But of course, I must never forget that none of this is possible without our academic staff and our administrative staff. You do tremendous work in the support of our students, and I am also bearing in mind the things that I have to do for you, some of which you will see very soon. I will not speak on accomplishments today. I'm leaving that for next year's graduation. But I will say a few things of words of guidance as you leave our institution. To begin with, many have contributed to your success. The success that you're having today, many have contributed. Your parents, your guardians, your loved ones. I ask you to salute them, graduates, with a tremendous round of applause. You know, I sincerely thank the parents and the guardians for the sacrifice that you have made to send your children through university, and you be in particular. I've worked in the region, and we're all Caribbean people, but I do get a sense Belize is different in some ways, and the sacrifice is even greater here to have you at university. And thank you, my dear parents. You've made you're going to make a tremendous change in the lives of your students, your loved ones. But so have your teachers, my dear graduates. They have mentored you and shepherded you over the last 2 to 4 years. They have created what you are today, and I think you owe your teachers at UB and the administrative staff another round of applause. Thank you. However, there is a group, the whole country has supported you. The taxpayers of Belize, the government of Belize, the minister and the Ministry of Education with our CEO present. Without their support, you probably would not have been here because the fees would have been quadrupled. Remember that. I'm not going to say anything more. Without the government support, you probably would not have been here. So I want you to thank the government of Belize for its support and to say that you therefore owe Belize a level of service. You have to be committed to serving your country as you leave our shores. Let me say thank you, Honorable Minister, for all the support that you have given to this institution. And I expect our graduates will now be giving back. Now I'm advised that we may have possibly the largest graduating class this year, 530 of you graduating today and tomorrow in Punta Gorda. Congrats to all of you, well done. Of course, one of the striking features of this graduating class, as it may have been over the last few years, 326 of you are females, and lovely, wonderful, beautiful women. I wish I was young like you and being in your class. 61% girls, 39% boys. When I went to university in engineering, there were 2 girls in my class of 25. Hard times. Anyway, these are better times. Now, what I want to say, you 61% females, I want you to become great leaders for this society, great female leaders of this society. One of you one day, the Prime Minister of this country. You know, men have always been in leadership roles, people like me, right? It's time you females assert yourselves. You assert yourselves at home. It's time you assert yourselves in the society. You need to be proud of yourselves. I am proud of you. Well done. However, we need to encourage more potential students to come to University of Belize. More to stay within the educational system, because I'm sensing some are falling off or dropping out of the system. And let me say, especially males. We need to get the males to stay in the system and to eventually come to the UB. Young males need to become active participants in the development of this society. UB must work steadily to ensure that all of Belizean citizens, young men and women, and especially those who are in situations of poverty, to get an opportunity for a tertiary level education, as this can lift them out of these circumstances. In terms of graduation today, I want to express my delight that for the first time we are graduating a number of students from the EU-funded project on early childhood education, what is called the Sugar Belt Project, Dr. Chan, Dean, and I want to congratulate all the students from that program. This is a first. Well done. And of course, that is how a university serves its community. Early childhood education is very important for development. Otherwise, they will never see the doors of a secondary or tertiary institution. So we're doing a great job out there. And because we're doing it outside of the traditional tracks of Belmopan and Belize City in Sugar Belt. Corozal, I think that's where it's called. So again, well done for reaching out. That's one of the things we have to do even more, to reach out. And the good news, we are bringing this program now to Belmopan and Belize City and Punta Gorda to train the teachers in early childhood education. So well done, Dean and members of the Faculty of Education. I salute you. There's another group I want to single out, and this is where I sense another future for the University of Belize that we have to grow and develop. We have about 30 students who have completed the certificate in English as a second language. Now these are foreign students. Some come as far away as from Taiwan and the Far East, and many are coming from the surrounding Central American countries. Now I see this as a potential growth hub for UB, working with the RLC and with the faculties. And therefore we have to create an even better environment, including a good, decent residence on this campus, so that foreign students, regional students can come here. Well, I've begun to engage in that matter, and I said by next year, let's hear what I have to, wait to hear what I have to say. So as you graduate, my dear students, a few quick thoughts. Number one, you need to become entrepreneurial, creative, business-like, and be active problem solvers. In order to succeed, you must build your life and your work thoughtfully in the midst of many hurdles you are going to face. Today is a great day, savor it. The moment you step out there in the real world, look for the challenges that are going to come your way, but there are opportunities too. I have often said my best days were at university, and probably that's why I've spent my entire life at a university, because at university is a very sheltered life, including my academics. They know that university life is great. You do what you want to do. You research what you want to research. Where else could give you that pleasure? Only university. So it's a great place to be, but the world out there is going to be different. You're going to have the challenges, but the opportunities. Seize the opportunities, navigate the hurdles with care, but never be daunted. In the same way that we trained you to succeed here, night and day, hard work, sacrifice, problems you can't solve today but you could solve tomorrow, those same values that we inculcated in you, that is going to help you navigate a difficult world. I want you to also remember another thing. Unlike the time when I graduated, we all felt there was a job out there waiting for me. As an engineer, Ministry of Works, the oil company in Trinidad, all kind of job. The world out there change. You know what you have to do? Prepare your minds from now that you may have to create not only your own job, but create jobs for your fellow Belizean citizens. That is the reality. I don't want you to go out here feeling government have a work waiting for you. They may have, you're lucky. They may have teachers, etc., nurses, etc. But many of you will have to become very entrepreneurial. Now, I've often heard it said, people say, you know, life hard in Belize, difficult to be an entrepreneur. Well, there may be merit in what is being said, but that should not stop you from trying. It should not be an excuse. There is opportunity, you need to find it. It takes discipline, planning, determination, hard work, and dedication to succeed. You just have to go to the farmer's market in Belmopan on a Tuesday and a Friday. I don't know why they don't have markets on Saturdays, but so that's something I'm learning here. But you just have to see the commerce that is occurring there. Trade. People buying, people selling. Well, there's opportunity all around there. It's not only agriculture. I see furniture, I see clothing, I see music, all kinds of things. Opportunities there. Commerce is happening here. But I think what is going to define you, our graduates, you have not only a degree, and some of you have a business degree. I think that training that you have here, combined with an entrepreneurial spirit, are basic ingredients for you to succeed as entrepreneurs. And I think the export sector is where some of you should put your vision. Belize needs to export a lot more. The manufacturing sector, and certainly the service sector in hotel, tourism, small businesses, etc. In the creative and festival arts, and that is something I'd really like to see at the University of Belize. Some programs in the festival arts, creative arts, to support the tourism industry. So I'm working on that too. So there are opportunities here. One thing that I've learned here is that there are some entrepreneurs here that you could follow. I don't see Kentucky Fried Chicken here. But guess where I went last night to get my fried chicken and chips? I went to Chicken on the Run, better than KFC. Right down by the roundabout here. I love a burger, but they don't have McDonald's here. But every Thursday evening, and those of you who have seen me by the park, Miss D comes by the park, sells the best burger I have ever eaten. My dear students, graduates, these are some of the things you can do. In fact, you will be richer and more famous than all of us in here. Driving fancy car, having all the lovely things young people like to have. In no shame, becoming rich and famous as an entrepreneur. So trust me, university job good. But when it comes to money, that one better. All right? So many things for you to do. The second thing I want to say to you is that you all need to become team players, collaborators. And one thing about Belize that has struck me is this is a very diverse society. So showing respect for the diversity. Well, in fact, I say Belize must celebrate its diversity. That is what makes you a very special people. Putting all those pieces and differences that you exhibit and make it one collective beauty is where we should be heading. But celebrating our diversity. You have to learn to collaborate when you get out there in the world of work, despite differences. You will have to listen and learn as you enter the world of work. You need to develop tolerance, restraint, and as I said, respect. UB graduates must distinguish themselves there, showing tolerance, restraint, and respect. The problems that we have to face in today's world, and ask any engineer, and they will tell you, the problems today are very complex. So you will have to work in multidisciplinary teams. So the ability to have divergent perspectives must be something that you will cultivate. Now you started that at UB in your teamwork. You must continue to build on the ability to work in teams. The third point I wanted to make is you will have to develop a willingness to continue to learn and be receptive to new knowledge and information. Now you may possibly feel that today I have graduated, I'm done. Well, let me tell you, that is the furthest from the truth. You have to take the approach that as a new graduate, you will have to continue to learn in a world that continues to generate new knowledge and new teachings. You will just have to be able to keep pace with the teachings in your profession. And the world of work will challenge you like no exam, no textbook, or no classroom can. I remember my engineering exams. Once the problem set from a textbook, straight A. But you put a real world problem there in engineering, and that will separate the men from the boys. How do you conceptualize that problem? And I want my academic staff to challenge our students to solve real world problems, not only routine textbook problems, because tomorrow morning they're not going to deal with textbook, they're dealing in a real world. They may go to the textbook to get some guidance, but it's a different kettle of fish. So you'll have to learn to continue to educate yourselves. One thing you must do from the moment you get in that workplace, learn from those who are there before. Absolutely important, because don't think that because you graduate you know everything. Sorry, you know a little bit. You know something. But you're going to have to learn from those in the world of work. Now, coming as an engineer and I'm telling you, that's the reality, that's the truth. You also have to show humility. You got to humble yourself out there. I'm a graduate, I'm a proud UB graduate, all fine. But learn from others. Understand you don't know everything as yet. All right? And let me say to those graduates who are getting associate degrees, wonderful, congratulations. But prepare yourselves now to move towards a bachelor's degree. And we at UB welcome you back. And the last point, you have to become effective communicators. In order to succeed, you must be able to share your vision, your thoughts and ideas. Now, we would have taught you some of these things at UB in the classrooms. You have to hone those skills that you have developed here as a student. Let me say to all of you, one of the first things that are going to happen to you in the world of work is the employer is going to listen to you when you speak, or he's going to read a report that you've written. And I tell you something, that makes an immediate first impression. I want our UB graduates, when they speak and when they write, to stand out above everybody else. You come out as very good, strong professionals, very competent communicators. And we're going to have to do even more to strengthen that in our university. Good communications will differentiate you and can lead to a lot of satisfaction and personal growth in the world of work. I also want to say something that I used to tell my own students in Trinidad. Trinidad, you could see Venezuela from Trinidad. I used to tell them, learn a second language, learn Spanish, learn Portuguese, and we have the French West Indies, learn French. But I think, bearing in mind where Belize is positioned, all of you, my dear graduates, should be very competent in English and Spanish. That will differentiate you. When you start to compete for jobs, you know Spanish, you're higher up the ladder. You know English, good, you're higher up the ladder. You know both of them, but you're right on top. So learn Spanish and learn English. And if you have problems, come to our regional language center, right, Mr. John, Mr. Flores? But that's what we created it for. Come here and we will teach you Spanish, we teach you English. We are going to begin to teach Chinese in the next few weeks. You want to learn Mandarin, you want to trade with China, Taiwan, you teach you Mandarin to trade with China. That's what universities are for. So, go forth, my dear students, graduates, go forth and succeed. Continue to serve your family, your community, and your country. Life should be one about selfless service. It brings tremendous personal satisfaction. Continue to believe in the Almighty and the abilities He has bestowed upon you. And while you may be questioning yourself, never let this define who you are. All of us will stumble, all of us will fail, all of us must pick up ourselves and get back on the track of hard work that leads to success. But you also have to be measured risk takers. When you take risks and you succeed beyond your wildest dreams. And let me recognize you, my dear graduate from my own Office of the President. Stand and take a bow. Stand and take a bow. Well done, well done. I totally remember the names, but I see these people every morning faithfully coming to work, smiling and welcoming me as principal. Thank you, thank you. So I wish you all your best in your future endeavors. Remember now you are ambassadors for UB. Do not forget this. You are ambassadors for UB. Fly the flag high and do not forget to give back to the institution. It needs all your help. I need your help, all of your help, to build UB together. Thank you very much.